In this video, we will try to compare and demonstrate a RYOBI 40V HP carbon fiber shaft string trimmer with the previous version. Before looking at the newer carbon fiber version, I want to start with this older version RYOBI 40V string trimmer. I've used several of the previous versions of RYOBI 40V string trimmers. All versions including the carbon fiber shaft are cordless electric and use the RYOBI 40V 4Ah battery and charger. As seen, this string trimmer has two switches. One is to trigger the speed of the motor and the other is a safety lockout. Both need to be held down to operate the string trimmer. On this older version, I have changed the front handle and added a ring to clip on to a harness. As seen, the string head assembly is worn but is working very well. The RYOBI 40V string trimmers are marketed with the Expanded brand. The Expanded brand markets that these include shafts and attachments that can be quickly connected and disconnected. We will disconnect the straight shaft assembly on this older string trimmer which has a steel shaft. With the steel shaft disconnected, we can compare it to the carbon fiber shaft. As expected, the inner shaft of the assembly that rotates is about the same size and shape. The outer shaft of the assembly is noticeably different. The carbon fiber outer shaft seems to be lighter, but as seen in this view, it is thicker. One concern I had was the wear and fatigue near the connecting area around the straight shaft assembly and the carbon fiber upper boom assembly. This is the area where the two halves of the shaft connect. The second half of the carbon fiber shaft or upper boom assembly has a steel ring at the end near the connection to reinforce it. We will also compare the two string head assemblies of the two versions. Although I'm disassembling the head assembly to show how the string can be inserted, both the old and the new include a long two-way arrow. This two-way arrow shows the alignment with the holes that will allow the operator to insert the string without disassembling the string head assembly. The head of the carbon fiber string trimmer comes with string pre-installed. The bright colored inner piece is still similar, which includes grooves for a tool to wind the string up. Rather than having an assembly that locks when it slides together, the new assembly can be rotated to a locked and unlocked position. I'm only disassembling the string head assembly to give a view of any differences from the old and the new versions. Like the old string head assembly, the new assembly includes a spring to allow for the bump feed of the string. The new RYOBI carbon fiber string trimmer will be my primary string trimmer. Because of this, I'm going to remove the front handle and the ring for the harness from the older model. I'm going to install the plastic front handle from the new string trimmer on the old string trimmer. This plastic front handle is good, but I'm used to working with the wider handle. The advantage of the plastic handle is that although it is angled, it is symmetrical. This symmetry allows you to get a good grip from multiple angles. We will now install the ring for the harness and a wider front handle to the carbon fiber shaft of the new string trimmer. I prefer the wider handle because it is further away from the shaft and allows the shaft to be held lower to the ground without bending over as much. We will now install the grass deflector assembly on the carbon fiber shaft. When connecting the straight shaft assembly to the upper boom assembly, we can see the boom clamp assembly with a steel ring at the end near the connection to reinforce it. The boom clamp assembly appears to be made with a lot more plastic. Over time since recording this video, it has held the straight shaft assembly a lot better than the previous version. With this improvement comes less adjustments and reduces the chances of over-tightening, which could lead to fatigue of these parts in the shaft assemblies. So although these older versions have a steel boot clamp assembly, I found them to require multiple adjustments and even change the hardware, which is demonstrated in a previous video. Now that we have the old and new string trimmer set up, we're going to share a few demonstrations. We will start with the previous version. As seen, even after a few years of heavy use, it is still strong and has no problem with maintenance on low-cut grass. Now we will demonstrate the new RYOBI 40V HP carbon fiber shaft string trimmer. This new string trimmer includes an additional switch for a high and low speed setting. I find myself using the low speed setting most of the time for maintenance on previously cut sections. The low speed likely stretches out the battery life but offers more than enough torque to match the work of the previous version. For the remainder of this video, rather than compare, I will demonstrate with the carbon fiber string trimmer only. I wanted to show these higher weeds because this is a more likely scenario of how this tool will be operated. This was started with a low speed setting. As seen, the tool has enough torque to handle these weeds. I took a break to switch to the high speed setting. Although the low speed setting could have handled the tall grass, the high speed setting was definitely an advantage because this type of grass was not only tall but it was thick. Please keep in mind that this string trimmer is able to cut all the way down even to dirt. In these demonstrations, I kept the cut a little bit high for several reasons. I like the look of more grass around the tree than a bare area of dirt. I also think that the bare dirt allows the soil to become drier and hotter compared with a little grass cover. I also want to reduce the time that the string trimmer is contacting the top and surface of the roots. The last reason is that I want some of the grass to grow back for a few days to a week before I come back and cut it level or a little bit lower than the surrounding grass. We're going to demonstrate on more trees with the thick, tall grass. As a side note, one thing I do appreciate in this new version is how the battery is mounted. Not only does it help to balance out the weight of the head, but it also allows for quick and easy checks of the battery life remaining. Although I did not time the battery usage, my opinion is that the battery life of the new version is better than the old version. This is because of the new battery included and also because of the speed selector switch. Both the old and new versions feature variable speed on the trigger itself. With different types of grass and weeds, it's hard to make an equal and accurate comparison of battery life. Since this video was recorded, the carbon fiber shaft is the most used of the string trimmers. It is very easy to tell you that this new version is an improvement over the previous versions. But since this is TryAdaptLearn, the highlight of sharing this was showing it through these demonstrations. I hope you have enjoyed the RYOBI 40V HP carbon fiber shaft string trimmer demonstration.